Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Don't answer too quickly. Just sit with it for a moment. If you disappeared today, who would notice first? Your family? Your closest friend? Your neighbors? Or would tomorrow look almost exactly the same? It's an uncomfortable question, because most of us don't believe something like that could ever happen. Not to us. After all, we're surrounded by people. Messages, notifications, phone calls, meetings, followers. We've never been more connected. So, how could anyone simply disappear? In 2010, the city of Tokyo believed that it was about to celebrate one of its oldest citizens. His name was Sogen Kato. According to official records, he was 111 years old. Tokyo officials arrived to honor him. Instead, they found a skeleton. He hadn't died recently. He had been dead for decades, still inside his own home. The discovery shocked Japan. It triggered a nationwide investigation, and what investigators found was even more disturbing. Authorities couldn't confirm whether more than 234,000 people listed as over 100 years old were even alive. It felt unthinkable. Surely a tragedy like this would change everything. Surely it would never happen again. But it did. Japan kept moving forward. Its cities grew wealthier. Its technology changed the world. Its people lived longer than almost anyone else. And yet, the loneliness didn't disappear. It grew. Today, more than 8 million older adults live alone across Japan. In 2024 alone, more than 76,000 elderly people were found dead inside their own homes. Some were discovered the next day, others weeks later, some more than a year after they died. That means Sogen Kato wasn't an exception. He was an early warning. And maybe the warning was never just for Japan, because people rarely disappear all at once. They disappear, one assumption at a time. He's fine. She's busy. I'll call next weekend. There's always more time. Most of us have said some version of those words, and that's why this isn't really a story about Japan. It's about something that can happen anywhere. Human connection doesn't disappear overnight. It fades quietly, and if we're not careful, we don't notice what we've lost until it has already been gone for years. But stories like this don't begin with tragedy. They begin with ordinary lives, with ordinary choices. So how did Japan get here? For generations, Japanese parents wanted exactly what parents everywhere want: a better life for their children, better education, better careers, more freedom. And they succeeded. Children left home. Cities grew. Lives became more comfortable. No one was trying to leave their parents behind. They were simply moving forward. But every step forward quietly created one more step apart. Parents didn't want to burden their children. Children didn't want to interrupt their parents. Neighbors didn't want to intrude. Everyone was trying to be respectful. And somehow, everyone became alone. Communities didn't disappear. They simply stopped knowing each other. What about you? When was the last time someone showed up at your door without texting first? When was the last time you did that for someone else? If your neighbors didn't see you for a month, would anyone knock? The most dangerous kind of loneliness isn't being alone. It's living a life where no one thinks it's unusual not to see you anymore. And over time, those quiet changes began to leave visible scars, not in families, not in hospitals, but inside Japan's prisons. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world. Overall crime has remained remarkably low, but one category has moved in the opposite direction: older offenders. Today, roughly 1 out of every 5 people entering Japan's prison system is over 65 years old. Over the past 2 decades, the number of elderly inmates has nearly quadrupled, and around 70% of crimes committed by people over 70 are simply shoplifting. Not because they wanted what they stole, most of the time it wasn't expensive. Food, toothpaste, daily necessities, things worth only a few dollars. Many weren't trying to escape prison. They were trying to reach it, because prison offered something their own lives no longer did. 3 meals a day, medical care, someone to talk to, someone who noticed if they didn't wake up. Some prisons have had to install wheelchair ramps, handrails, even assign officers to help elderly inmates eat, bathe, and change diapers. Places built as prisons quietly became nursing homes. Think about that. For some people, the place where society takes away your freedom felt more human than the place where they had been living. If that doesn't make us stop and ask what we've been building, I don't know what will. Is that none of those people expected their lives to end this way. When they were young, they had job, families, dreams, friends, plans for the future. No one plans to grow old alone, just as no one plans to lose the people who matter most. Life doesn't usually change because of one decision. It changes through thousands of ordinary bonds. One postponed visit, one unanswered call, one holiday you couldn't make, one friendship you assumed would always be there. So perhaps the real question isn't whether you're lonely today, it's this. If nothing about the way you live changed, where would your relationships be 20 years from now? Japan's greatest warning was never that people can die alone. It was that an entire society can slowly get used to it. Every statistic we've talked about began as one person, one parent, one neighbor, one friend, one life that someone once believed would always be there. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question all along, instead of asking, who would notice if I disappeared? Maybe we should ask, whose absence have I already stopped noticing? Because that's how every story you've heard today really began, not with the absence of love, but with the slow disappearance of attention. No one meant to abandon their parents. No one wanted their neighbors to become strangers. No one dreamed of growing old inside a prison just to feel less alone. And yet all of it happened, not because people stopped caring, but because they slowly stopped noticing. That's the warning Japan has given the world. Not that people can die alone. We've always known that. The real warning is this. An entire society can slowly accept that loneliness is normal, until no one finds it strange that a neighbor hasn't been seen for weeks, until no one asks why an old friend never calls anymore, until silence becomes expected. Every number you've heard in this video, 76,000, 234,000, 1 in 5. Every one of those numbers was once a person, someone's father, someone's mother, someone who laughed, worked, dreamed, loved, someone who never imagined their life would end as a statistic. The future doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives one ordinary day at a time. One postponed visit, one unanswered call, one assumption that there will always be another chance. Until one day, there isn't. So perhaps the question isn't whether this could happen to us. The evidence suggests it already can. The real question is, what kind of future are we building today? One where people grow older surrounded by buildings but forgotten by people, or one where no one has to wonder whether anyone would notice they were gone? Because in the end, the measure of a society isn't only how long its people live. It's whether they were truly seen while they were here. Life, Unscripted.